Oh, hey there, it's me again. These are the Scandinavian birds, okay? There are 4 prints, one for each side, of my double-sided birds. These are the bird cutouts that you can get from my shop. One is big and one is small. We are going to make a really cool project tonight, this afternoon. I don't know what time it is, y'all. I wanted to come on here early because it's been a long and stressful day already. And I wanted to try, get my live going, get it out of the way so that me and Chris can have some time this evening to hang out. So, bear with me. So, I'm going to try something a little bit different. I don't think it's different for me, honestly, but a little bit different. Hi, Karen. Hi, Brooke. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Lori. Hey, Steph. So the showing did not go, or the open house did not go well. No one showed up, unfortunately, but y'all, did you know, and some of you may already know this, but I had no idea, that whenever a realtor puts out a sign that says open house, like on a main drag, people regularly steal those signs. Did you know that? I had no idea that people are jerks like that, but apparently they are. So me and Chris left this morning at like 11:30 to get out of here because the open house was supposed to be. So by the way, I'm using Rub and Buff to paint these, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and do the edges too while we're here and let them dry. And then we're going to use the transfers on them. And this is going to be awesome, I hope. Anyways, so yes, people are so dumb, Lori. Let me just tell you. So we left at 11:30 today. And of course I went to Hoblob and I got so much cool stuff. Look at this candle holder that I got for this project. Okay. Anyways, literally went in there for something completely different than that. Definitely did not mean to buy that, but then I did. And I'm not mad about it. Anyways, so we get done doing all that, running around. We have about probably an hour left, okay? And so I'm like, let's go back over to the house and just go sit in my normal creeper spot and just wait, right? And maybe we'll see if people are there. And so in the meantime, while we're on the way back, I text my realtor and I'm like, hey, how's it going? She said, unfortunately, nothing. And I'm like, what? So we get to my neighborhood and I'm like, why are there no signs? Like, my house is the last street, okay, in the neighborhood. There's no stinking way that you're going to know that there's a house, an open house today if you don't see a sign. And if you're not looking on I guess it's not HAR here, on Realtor.com or MLS all the time, right? If you're not a realtor, how are you going to know? And so I text her, I get over to my house, and I see there's an open house sign at the end of my street, which is the last street. So it really doesn't make sense. Hi, Sharon. Hey, Deborah. Hi, Marcia. And there's one in my yard, which is fine. But that's it. And so I'm like, hey, do you think we should put another sign out, like on the main drag? Do you think it makes sense? And she's like, oh, man, I did put one out there. And she said, it's not there. And I'm like, no, it's definitely not there. And I even went back, drove back around just to be sure that I didn't miss it. But I know I didn't miss it. And she says, well, it looks like someone stole it because that's what people do every time that realtors put a sign out, like on a main street. She said that usually whenever she puts it out, literally minutes later, it will get stolen, either picked up by someone that's like walking along the road and thrown somewhere, which is crazy, or someone will stop and pick it up and steal it. And I'm like, what? Hi, Donna. How are ya? Oh, well, I need them to want me to get out of here. Why can't they hate me as much as they did whenever I lived at my other house? They didn't hate me. They hated my ex, which, I mean, what's not to hate, right? Just kidding, y'all. I mean, he's not great, but I'm not going to talk bad about him here. Anyways, that's not the point of this conversation. Hi, Marcia. How are ya? Anywho, so yeah, apparently that is a common thing that happens all the time. Y'all, she told me that, so her sign is not just like in my front yard. It's not just like a regular one with the two little sticks or whatever that goes in the ground. Hers is one of those big ones, right? With the, it's got a stake that drives into the ground. And then it has a big wooden thing that goes over it. It's like a, it looks like a one of those stately columns on the front of your house or whatever. Okay, it's one of the really nice ones. Her yard signs are. She said she's had those stolen before. And I'm just like, I'm shocked. You know, I knew that there were dirt bags out in the world. Okay, I'm not, oh man, I am not completely dumb to that. I get it. I know that there are stupid people out in the world that are just awful human beings and that like to cause havoc on other people, but that is just ugly and mean. Okay? It is just horrible that people are awful like that. And I really, really hope that that person has like the very worst day ever. Okay? I don't know who it is, but I hope they step on a Lego or something. Hi, Carol. How are ya? And so, yeah, we did not have anybody come, but, you know, times are tough right now. The interest rates are crazy, and so I get that, okay? Now, these little birds come with these little wings, okay? They come with one set of wings for each bird. So each bird gets 2 wings. So I'm actually going to show you a couple different ways to do this bird. Now, I forgotten myself, but this is one of our blocks. So this is not part of the daily deal today, but you can definitely get yourself a block set if you want to add it on to your order. I'm happy to do that. Just comment the word bird to get the bird cutouts and the transfer on sale. Okay, I want to show you another way to do this project that doesn't involve the cutouts, okay? Because you do not have to have cutouts to do things, okay? Whether they're chalk cutouts, whether they're cutouts from my shop, you don't, okay? So this is just red chalk paste. I'm gonna just paint this block really quick. And I just want to quickly show you 2 different ways to do this and how cool it is. And I didn't even think about this. I actually saw this idea the other day. I made a mental note of it. I'm literally always seeing projects out there that people have done, and I'm like, oh, that is such a cool idea, okay? So I would have never thought of this on my own, so don't give me credit. I actually saw it during a meeting, a chalk meeting that I was having with corporate the other day. I saw it in the background of one of the corporate ladies' offices, because you know they do all the projects, and so they've got like all kinds of stuff. They use chalk products or chalk projects to decorate their offices, which I think is so cool. How awesome would that be? Yeah, so we're gonna do a red cardinal on the cutouts, but we're gonna do red on the background and then gold on top for the blocks. Now I just want to dry this a little bit so that I don't leave fingerprints all over it whenever I flip it to do the other sides, okay? Yeah, it is very sad, Donna. I just don't get it. You know, people out there in the world have nothing better to do than just mess with other people's stuff. Like, you know, I never could understand that. And it makes me really sad for them. But I hope that person steps on a Lego. And, you know, someday they're going to be trying to sell something and they're not going to be able to. And that's really sad for them, you know. But we're going to sell this house. I'm telling you right now. I'm willing it to happen because I already have my flight from to Dominican Republic booked from Houston, okay? So that, I am willing that to happen by the end of, we will be moved into our new house by the end of February because I need it to be the case. Plain and simple, okay? Okay, so now, I think these are dry too. so that's great news. Now, I'm going to wax all of these pieces, okay, including the little wings. And I want to make sure this block is really dry because I see some places that it's not quite dry. And I want to make sure the edges are dry too because I don't want to get red paste all over myself today. Okay? Exactly. They will absolutely have karma come bite them in the butt. Yes, that's what my mom was saying earlier, Lori, and I believe that too. You know, and I get it. You know, there have been several houses. There was one house that I looked at when I was actually looking to buy a house. When I bought this one, actually, it was the first one that we went to, and it was beautiful, y'all. It was so perfect. A 3-bedroom. It had a loft upstairs that was, it was like a 1.5 story with a loft upstairs. And the upstairs area, hi Joni, how are ya? The loft area was like an office, okay? It was absolutely beautiful house. Really loved it. Everything was perfect with it. It was all updated, beautiful kitchen. But the problem with that house is, and I would have bought it, okay, but it was in a little town, which was such a cute little town, okay? No cell phone service whatsoever in that town. And that was not even a showstopper for me, okay? Because I'm going to have Wi-Fi. I'm just not going to have any internet access outside of my house, okay? Until like 20 minutes away. So whatever. That's fine with me, okay? The problem was that in the backyard of this place, and I would have built a fence and everything, but it backed up to a railroad track. Okay, so just imagine, I don't even know what time the railroad goes through this town, but I don't want a train screeching in my backyard at any time. You know, I lived near train tracks at my old house, but it was still like 2 miles away and you could hear it clearly. But I cannot imagine having a railroad right in the backyard. Okay. And I'm glad. So that was wax. Hopefully I didn't freeze for y'all. Okay. That was surface wax. It's just a clear wax. Okay. It is completely clear. It is, you can buy it in my shop. Okay. This is a Chalk Couture product. It is used to keep, whenever you paint a surface, okay, any surface that you paint, before you put your transfer on it, you want to do everything that you can to protect the transfer and also to protect that surface. So now that I have this paint on here, whenever I put this transfer down, because it is sticky, I don't want to pull up that paint, okay? Or on this surface either, okay? Whenever I go to pull up the transfer, I don't want it to pull up the paint. So I put that on there to help keep it from sticking so much that I can't pull it up, okay? Now, let me untangle a little bit of wires over here because I've got myself kind of caught up. I did some rearranging prior to my live and I did not check that. So, all right. Now, I am pulling out my light and I'm going to just line this up. And these birds will line up perfectly with these cutouts because these are chalk cutouts, okay? So they're going to fit just perfectly on here. And they're chunky cutouts, so they stand up on their own, which I just absolutely love. All of our cutouts, they are wood, okay? You can sand them down and they'll turn brown underneath. Now, I've got this all lined up. I'm going to use Candy Apple Red for my birds, okay? Now, I'm just going to take that and I'm going to spread it over that silk screen. Now, whenever you're using wax, you want to be very careful, okay? Do not put too much wax down because wax does keep the transfer from sticking. So it will, if you put too much on there, it is going to not stick very well. And it will hinder your chalk paste from sticking too. So you need to be careful, just the tiniest bit. And you saw how much was in that jar, okay? That is the same jar of wax that I've had since I started Chalk Couture. back in 2021, April, okay? Now that is my little cardinal with the gold underneath. Isn't that so pretty? And it's nice and shiny. So I would have used our chalk paste, the gold chalk paste, to paint this, but it's not that, darn it. It is not a really good painting consistency, okay? So that's why I didn't. Now, I also did not fuzz this transfer because, as you can see, this bird is like all silkscreen, okay? Now, take that into consideration when you're picking colors, okay, to do stuff like this, because I was thinking I wanted a red bird, but I also wanted gold accents, right? And so I was thinking, oh, I'll just paint it red and do gold on it. Well, I needed to do it the opposite of that. So that's why I used the Rub and Buff instead of red underneath, because I wanted it to be mainly red. So think about that when you're putting your colors together, because I've gotten it backwards before. The reason I say that is because I've done it completely backwards many times, okay? Now, like I said, each of these comes with a little wing. Now, they both have 2 wings, and I'm going to use one wing for this guy, and then we're going to do another one here in just a second with the other one. So let me put that to the side, and then I'm just going to line up my little wing just like that. And I didn't cut these apart because I wanted to keep them together, okay? Because I'm really rough on my transfers, and I will lose little pieces of them if I'm not careful. So I left the wing that goes with the bird together. That will help me in the long run. It will save me having to try and find it and all that stuff. Now, I did mess up a second ago, and I sprayed that other one with water. So let me just wipe it off. Isn't it so pretty? Thank you, Donna. I'm glad you like that. Thank you, Joni. I'm just going to wipe the transfer side. I'm not going to clean it, but I just want to wipe it off a little bit, and now I've kind of messed it up, but that's okay. So we're going to go with this. Now, don't look at that too closely because it is dirty, but I think it'll still work. It'll be fine. Yeah, I think so too, Deborah. And I just love a good cardinal, okay? My parents, I think I've told y'all this about 100 times already, I'm sure of that, but both my parents and both my grandparents, my mom's parents, were very much into birds, and bird watching are. I don't know why I said were, talking about my parents, because they are currently very into bird watching, and they just love doing that. That's an activity that they're constantly doing. My dad is always building birdhouses and stuff. And cardinals are very important to our family because everyone knows, well, hopefully you know, the thing about cardinals is that whenever you see a cardinal, it means that someone that you love that has passed away is watching over you. So there are plenty of people that I love that have passed away that I hope are watching me and visiting me from time to time. So every time I see a cardinal, I generally try to say who it is that's coming to visit. So I'm just fuzzing this a little bit because I am putting it on the block. Okay, so this is a block from the block set. I just had a couple of them laying around over here, and I wanted to show you that these birds, you don't have to use the cutouts for them. Okay, now you can, and I'm going to show you how. But we're going to use a little bit of both. Now, if you buy this set, and if you think about it like this, you don't have to have the block set to do this, okay? You could do it on any surface. This is just an easy one that would be the right size that I had right here. Okay, but I've got plenty of other plenty of other surfaces too. So there's my bird on a block. Okay, now I do still have my wing, and I'm just now realizing that I did this one backwards also. So let me see. Where's my, oh, here we are. I swear, y'all, I'm like, today is not my day for my brain power. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly paint over this gold with Candy Apple. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to use paste over it here in a second, and it's going to cover it up mostly anyways. So just dry that really fast. Yeah, I just love cardinals, Donna, and really any bird. My mom's favorite is a bluebird, which I do love bluebirds now. Every time that I see like a little bluebird somewhere, you know, I always buy little birds. And I'm sure my friends just think I'm so strange because, like, I have a weird obsession with buying random stuff that I see out in the world. Seriously, I buy the strangest things. I love to go into little antique shops and stuff and buy little trinkets and little just random things that I see, and I'm just like, I can't live without that. And when I'm with my friends, they look at me like, are you crazy? Yeah, a little bit, I am, okay? I don't know what to tell you. So there's my little wing for my gold bird, okay? Now, I might have been able to do that one backwards and do it red instead of gold, but I didn't want there to be too much red on this one. Oh, do they, Donna? I didn't know that. So I'll make sure my mom knows that. A bird nerd. I love it. Yeah, I want to be a bird nerd. I don't know a lot about birds, though. I just know a couple of them. I do love blue jays. We get them all the time here. My mom said those are not quality birds. She may or may not have called it a trash bird. But whatever. I love them. I think they're pretty. So, alright. Let's see. I think so too. They're so cool. And I love, I have a bird feeder in my backyard. I have hummingbird feeders. I love watching to see them come up and eat. I just think it's so neat. So, I can be a nerd with you. That's fine. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put our birds together. Now, the other thing I bought today, y'all don't judge me for this, okay? Or don't judge me too harshly, but I am so lazy. Lazy girls, raise your hand because here I am. I did not want to go search my garage to find my glue gun. So I bought one for $5 earlier at Hobby Lobby, okay? With some mini glue sticks. And the sad thing is, the really pathetic thing is that I have multiple glue guns in this house, okay? I'm telling you, I probably have 4 glue guns that I own that currently reside inside that house over there. Now, the problem is I packed up my stuff, and now they are in a box too. So look at that little bird. Isn't that so cute with the little wing? And then this one too. Okay, adorable. Now, this one also has a wing. Let me dry this the rest of the way. I have like probably 4 more glue guns, and they're all in boxes, and I didn't want to have to go dig out a glue gun out of one of the boxes in my garage. So I just opted to buy a new one. And I'll find my other one. I will, because I'm going to have to. Eventually I will find it, because I'm going to go through those boxes with my kits in them very soon. But I have not yet done that. And so while I was at Hobby Lobby, I knew this project was going to require a glue gun. And I was also very well aware that I was going to be tired probably. And I wasn't going to feel like searching for it prior to my live. So here we are. Okay, there's my bird on a box, on a block. Okay, so you do not have to have the cutouts. I did use one of the cutout wings on this one, but they come with 2 sets. So I actually have another one. I could take another block. Hi, Sue. And I could use the other wing on the other block with the other transfer that's meant for the other side of the bird. Okay? Because they're double-sided. You could do 2 designs on one bird if you want to, or whatever. So this is the candlestick that I bought earlier, y'all. It was $29.99, 60% off. I think it was $12, which is still too much for this, but I can't be helped, okay? There's nothing that can be done at this point. I am beyond help. It's fine. At least I can admit it, okay? That there's a problem. Now, I also bought this bag of moss, okay? Because I like having moss, and I wanted to make a little nest for my birds, okay? So that's what we're about to do. Now, there's like 4 types of moss in here, so I don't want to just use one, or I might, I don't know. But I'm going to make a mess here too. So I definitely want a kind of messy effect here. So I'm just trying to figure out how this is going to look first, and then we'll go from there. All right, and then I love this kind of moss too. It's like that like spongy looking moss. So I'll probably add some of that in there too. So let me just see, now this is going to be the problem with this tiny glue gun. And these itty bitty glue sticks. I'm gonna use them like crazy. But this thing claims it's cordless. Now, the way that it's cordless is kind of janky, okay? Now, I didn't think about it whenever I first looked at it, and I was like, oh, it's cordless, that's cool. Definitely need that. Well, they say it's cordless because you just unplug it and you can use it until it's not hot anymore. So, I mean, best $5 I've ever spent, to be honest, okay? Because I needed it. Hi, Joanne, how are ya? Just talking about how I'm a mess, okay? As usual. Now, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add some more glue to just kind of reinforce this whole thing. Now, you can comment bird to get the stuff I'm using tonight to make this project, okay? To get the link, to get it on sale. And I love that this is multi-purpose. You can use it in different ways. You don't have to have the cutouts to make something beautiful. Now, they do help, okay? But it's definitely not required. Now, let me just put that in there. And I want to use, I love this, like, fluffy looking moss stuff. Hey, Anita. Now, let's see how my birds are gonna sit in here. Thinking just like that will work just fine. So I'm just going to go right in with it. Now I want to push it down and I want it to really be in there. Okay, so I may need to reinforce that with additional tons of glue, which is probably fine. Yeah, definitely gonna need more glue there. To keep it from falling over. All right, and I love this because it's not necessarily a holiday bird, but it could totally be a multi-seasonal decoration. I have not, Anita, but I haven't really looked really hard for it. But I did go to Hoblob earlier, so I bought one. So yeah, I'm ashamed, but I'm not that ashamed because I'm using it in front of all of you with very little shame in my game, okay? I will find it, obviously. It was, I'm not going to just never use it again, but until I have the energy and willpower to actually go out there and look through every one of those boxes, it is what it is. And I have this one I can use for now. Yeah, I think this looks pretty darn good. I'm glad you like it, Donna. Thank you so much. And thank you for the support, Anita. I love you. I appreciate the agreement that it's not worth stressing about. That's wonderful to hear. Now I'm just going to take a little bit more moss and just add to this, but these little birds are so stinking cute, and I'm thinking about adding a little bit right there just to help me reinforce in between here. Right there. So just take it, and then I can actually glue the sides of them together. I'm so glad y'all are liking this one. I love this project. I've been wanting to make a little nest like this for forever, and I've actually looked at Hobby Lobby. Now they do have some of those like little miniature wooden wreaths that would be okay for a nest, but why not make your own when you can buy just a few little things and make something even cooler than what, you know, just a plain simple little thing. Now I want this, I really like this. I don't know why I like this so much. This texture of this other moss that's kind of like moldy moss or whatever it is that grows on rocks. I just absolutely love it. I don't know why, the texture just does something great for me. So I want to have some of this here. And if I can kind of just add a little bit of texture and that kind of stuff to the nest, I feel like it brings it to life a little bit more. Okay? So, I mean, that's pretty good and done, I think. I don't want to add any ribbon or anything else to this. I don't think that it needs it. And I don't want to take away from the birds or from the just artistry itself of the nest, okay? Because that is awesome, I think. Okay? Now, I need to get some of these glue gun strings out of here. But thank you so much, Donna. Let them find my house to be their forever home so that I can find mine. Because I'm ready. Okay. All right, now, so I've got these two birds, okay? The cutouts. And then not only can you do that, but you can also just do this on any surface. Okay? So just remember that whatever the silkscreen area is, let me see. The white area on the transfer is going to be where you put your paste, okay? So the teal parts are going to be where your background color is, okay? So just think about that whenever you're painting a surface, okay? And make sure that you don't get your colors swapped, because I've done it a million times, okay? And I don't want it to happen to you. Now, you can easily sand something like this down and redo it. But just like this little wing, I accidentally painted it the wrong color to begin with. I wanted it to be a red background instead of gold. But this one, instead of using paste, I used Rub and Buff as the background. Okay, so I just painted that on there first. All right, so comment the word bird to get all the stuff to make this yourself, okay? I hope y'all have a wonderful Saturday and a beautiful Sunday tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Good night.